Good morning. I'm Clayton Mick on KORN News Radio 1490. Well, we're into a new year, 2015. What is the employment outlook forecast? What's the forecast for employment this year? Well, that's what we're going to talk about this morning on KORN News Radio 1490. And joining me this morning to give her thoughts on what we can expect this year is Dr. Tracey Wilen. She's a prominent thought leader on the impact of technology on society, work, and careers. She's a scholar at Stanford University and holds leadership positions at Apple, HP, Cisco, and the Apollo Group, and is the author of 11 books. Her newest book is Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. And Dr. Wilen joins me this morning. Good morning, Doctor.
Oh, good morning, Clayton, and Happy New Year to you.
Yes, thanks for joining me. And you're currently on a speaking tour on your with this book, correct?
Yes, I am. I've had the opportunity to present at a lot of corporations, associations, and actually global organizations on the importance of career development today. So it's been very exciting.
All right. Well, what do you see, first off, as some of the trends for the year 2015?
Well, I looked at it for 2015 in three areas. One is the workforce trends. Second is societal trends that you may not be thinking about, but that are becoming mainstream and maybe job opportunities. And then third are sector trends. And again, it might be sectors that you don't immediately think about as job and career opportunities, but you may want to start thinking about it in 2015.
Okay. Well, let's take a look first at some of the workforce trends that you mentioned.
Sure. So I think 2015 is the year for the millennials to move up. The baby boomers are reaching 65 at a pace of 10,000 per day. We're seeing accelerated retirement. Generation X, which is the 30-40s group that would fill that pipeline, well, it's a small generation. It's not enough of them. So who's going to fill the shoes of our leaders who are retiring? It's the millennials. So I think millennials are smart, technically savvy, and if they're motivated and focused, this would be a big year for the millennials to move up.
All right. Now, another one of the things you see here is that maybe working for corporations is not the destination anymore when it comes to employment.
I agree. I think that in 2015, people need to start refocusing their goals of having a corporation as a destination and the only job that they're going to have. Realistically, people have today anywhere between 11 and 15 jobs in their lifetime. We're living longer, and it's not practical. We have a large percentage of the population, almost 40% today, who will be working part-time and freelancing by 2020. So if you reset your mind in 2015 to the corporation is a stop, what skills and experience can I gain, what do I want my career to look like, and I think that's a healthier way to approach it.
All right. And another trend that you see here is that, and this week I think we kind of see slowly happening, is that automation and software computerization replacing some jobs. Is that correct?
Yes, and you could see the future. You know, I went to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and you see everything from cars to drones to devices that basically are helping people because of sophisticated software. But also you need to realize, that could replace pieces of my jobs. So proactively, I want people to start thinking about what technology is in their space or sector, and what do they need to do to get on top of that. Right? So, for example, manufacturing, 3D printing, and robotics. How can I get my hands wet in these technologies so I can stay ahead of the curve?
Okay. Again, my guest this morning is Dr. Tracey Wilen, and we're talking about career predictions for the year 2015. Let's move on to some societal trends that you see. One of the things that you mentioned is on-demand, that's increasing demand. What do you mean by this?
You know, Clayton, we have become an on-demand society. You know, Americans are not using their vacation time. They feel like they don't spend enough time at home with their kids. And they also say that they don't get enough sleep. So what's happening is we want services to fill this gap so we can have our time back. So we want music on demand. We want shipping on demand. We want shopping the same day delivery. We want food on demand through food trucks. And I'll tell you the truth, we even want our dates on demand if you go to Match.com. So, there's a lot of opportunities there because this on demand society really creates new jobs, logistic jobs, call center jobs, chat room jobs, retail jobs, marketing jobs, because you need people to create the services, but also to be able to deliver to this new demand society.
Okay. Now, another thing that we're looking at is what we call a sharing economy. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, why buy when you can share? And that seems to be the new mantra for 2015. If I have a house, well, I can share and rent out rooms through Airbnb. Cars, well, Uber and Lyft have just become the family chauffeur. I mean, it's amazing. Not only are they relieving us of having to drive ourselves or our kids around, but they're also creating jobs. I can't tell you how many people I've met who are creating careers out of sharing their cars. We share our bikes, we share our clouds, and this year I actually shared a Christmas tree. I rented a Christmas tree, and I gave it back, and it's back in the forest now, ready for next year.
That's a way to keep the landfills a little bit less full, I guess, if you can do it that way.
Yeah, it made me feel, it was expensive, but it made me feel good that I didn't have to throw the tree out on the street with the other 5,000 that were sitting out there,
Yeah.
But yeah,
concept.
so, we're sharing everything, and I think creative people can find new services or get on board with some of these services and become a part of it. And I think these are new jobs and career opportunities that didn't exist. It's not necessarily technology-driven, although technology helps facilitate it, and it's new spaces where people can look for jobs.
Okay. And you also predict that food is going to be a hot commodity. Now, we're not talking fast food, though, are we?
No, when I grew up, it was meat and potatoes, and McDonald's and Burger King is where you got your fast food. Now, all of a sudden, food is hot. I mean, Americans love food. We have to eat. Now we have organic food. It's an entire large industry, gluten-free, vegetarian. We know how to pronounce words like quinoa. We know about new vegetables called kale. We eat Greek yogurt. We want gourmet foods on demand. Out by me, I can get a gourmet dinner delivered to my door for $9.95. I mean, people are just reinventing the food industry. I was in San Francisco Union Square a couple of weeks ago. I walked into Walgreens. I walked out because it wasn't Walgreens. It was a food court. They had pizza bars. They had coffee. I thought I walked into a restaurant. So everyone is getting into the food area, and that just creates jobs, whether you're creating a restaurant or a cafe, online demand, or creating honey on your rooftop. Food is hot.
All right. Dr. Tracey Wilen, my guest this morning, talking about some career predictions for 2015 this morning on KORN News Radio. Some of the other things that we're looking at here, and I can see this as being a blossoming industry due to the threats to security, that security is kind of a career field that's going to expand.
Yes, sadly, security, I think, is going to be a safe bet for people in careers on multiple levels. It's in the news every day. The cybersecurity with the data hacking, so we need people now to really protect our networks and our data. Physical security and protection, right? People want to feel safe when they go to events, when they go to the airport, when they live in their homes and their kids go to school. So I think you're going to see a lot more physical security, bodyguards, protection, and then terrorism. It's in the news just again today in Paris that, terrorist attacks. And what does that do? Well, I looked up the jobs: undercover agents, forensic data analysts, cryptographers, bomb detection, nuclear experts. I mean, these are areas that we didn't even think about years ago, but it's a reality today. And whenever you have a trend in society, look at, positive or negative, look at what the jobs and careers might be created.
Absolutely. Now, due to our population's living longer as well, Doctor, and healthcare is another area that you see as expanding.
I do, and I like healthcare because I think it's a healthy option for the future. One, it's a building block careers, which means that you can get in with minimal education and certifications. You can come in as an aide, you can be an emergency driver, and then you can start to say, do I want to be on the clinical side, that is, on the medical side working with patients, or do I want to move into marketing or information technology or some other area? So healthcare is opening up a lot of doors. We have our boomers who are living longer. Some of them are active. They're going to drive a lot of services that they need. And quite frankly, I think wearable technology will take off in healthcare. And our inactive boomers who are saying, you know what, I may be sick, but I don't want to go to a home. I want to stay home. So I want to bring healthcare services into my home, which opens up the doors for in-home nurses, occupational therapists, different kinds of physical therapy. I even just met a doctor who said he's now going back to doing in-home house calls because of the increase of boomers who want to have services at home.
That's like going back to Dr. Welby or the old days.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. And Doctor, you also see an expansion in what you call STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yes, I will always emphasize with anyone who gives me a chance the importance of technology, sciences, engineering, and math. You know, the jobs of the future that pay well and are in demand are in technology or biological research, medicine. Big data, 4.4 million jobs. Robotics, cloud computing, all of these are very new technologies. These are areas of opportunity if you have the interest and the inclination. And what's interesting today is that a lot of firms, Google, Apple, Microsoft, are actually offering free programming classes, depending where you live and on your age. Some are for kids, some are for women, some are for adults. But you can actually start to get your hands wet on computer programming. I think this is the wave of the future, and it's important. So keep your eye on technology and get into it if you can.
Super. Dr. Tracey Wilen, my guest again this morning on KORN News Radio. And Doctor, I understand that you have a career selfie contest that you're conducting.
I do. I was on the radio a couple of months ago talking about my projections of the future route and that it's a time to take a career selfie. It was so popular, I said, you know what? If you write me your story, send me an email to my website, Tracey@TraceyWilen.com. If you're through a job transition, making a career change, and you can tell us your story and something that we can learn, right? Just give me a best practice. Give me a tip so that someone else can learn. I'll publish it in my blog. We'll talk about it on the radio, and I'll send you a copy of my book, Employed for Life.
Okay, super. So all they just need to email you, Tracey@TraceyWilen.com, and your name is spelled TraceyWilen, and folks can do that. They can also, your website is TraceyWilen.com, and they can also catch you on Facebook, correct?
Facebook and Twitter, which is @Tracey Wilen, on Pinterest and on LinkedIn. So it shouldn't be too hard to find me. Just tell me your story. Don't forget to send me your mailing address.
Super. Dr. Wilen, do you have any other thoughts before we close?
No, I just want to remind people that your career is your career. So manage it and view it as your career adventure because you're going to be working for a very long time. Projections are 50, some people 70 years. So make the most of it. You know, life is short and life is long, so make the most of it.
Absolutely. Dr. Wilen, I thank you so much for sharing your insights with us this morning, and I wish you a great year.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care now.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Dr. Tracey Wilen. Again, to get in on the career selfie contest, then get a free book, the book Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. Send your career makeover story to Tracey's email. It's Tracey@TraceyWilen.com. And again, her name spelled TraceyWilen. That's Tracey@TraceyWilen.com. And her website, of course, TraceyWilen.com. And you can also find her on Twitter @TraceyWilen or Facebook, Dr. Tracey Wilen. And the book, again, is called Employed for Life, 21st Century Career Trends. And that is available right now.